So we have the umbrellas. They're in San Francisco. Is it raining?
It's very misty.
Misty, all right. Very good. Well, thanks for doing this, guys. Appreciate it. The album is called Umbrellas, and it was just released, what, a couple of days ago? 2 or 3 days ago? Is that right?
Yeah,
Friday.
okay.
Friday. So how did it go? What'd you do? Anything exciting?
We played a show.
Yay! Was
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
how was that?
yeah. It was great. It was really fun. We played with some great bands. We played with Blues Lawyer and the Reds, Pinks, and Purples.
I think I talked to him.
Yeah, that's Glenn.
Yeah,
He's my neighbor.
Oh, cool.
Uh-huh. Glenn is Matt's neighbor and Nick's, actually. And
Yeah.
they're over in the Richmond district of San Francisco. And they were great. And then Healing Potpourri.
So it was the
So
first
it
week in a
was-
while,
it
or
was
have you
a-
been
all-
playing out?
It was our third bit.
We were playing.
It was our third time playing, like
Right.
since quarantine.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you must be getting the hang of it now anyway. So now we should introduce everybody. So Matt, you are the guitarist and vocalist.
That's correct.
Morgan, you are also guitarist and vocalist. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. And Nick, you're the bass player.
Yep.
And it leaves Keith, who
Play
is
drums.
drums and 12 string. I read. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now you don't play them at the same
Um,
time, do you?
Pretty hard. I try my best.
I bet you do. Well, the 12,
Um,
so the 12 string is kind of the thing in this jangly rock. And I'm an old guy, so I know it from, Back to the Birds and the Paisley Underground and all that stuff. So how did you guys get involved in this sound? I will ask Matt.
I don't know.
Oh, man, I will ask Matt.
It just like kind of organically happened. I don't know. We just like one day we were like, let's make pretty music, and we like these bands. Let's do something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, how did you hear these bands? Because there's a lot of bands, and you could hear just about anything from, Joy Division to Curtis Blow. I mean, it could be anything.
Sure. Yeah. I grew up listening to 60s pop music. That's like what my parents listened to. So I heard the Byrds a lot growing up. And
Right.
the Beach Boys.
I see. Okay. And what about the rest of you? Morgan, did you have that same experience growing up?
Not exactly. My dad plays bass and has always was encouraging me to play music, but I didn't really start playing guitar until Matt and Nick were like, "Do you want to start a band?" And I was
Right.
like, "Okay." But like I said, Nick and I both work together in a record store, and
There you go.
definitely trading off 45s when we lived together, and
Right.
always kind of like nerding out over our
Very good.
newest find.
Yep. Are there many record stores in San Francisco? They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few.
Excellent. Yeah. So when you were in the record store, Nick, how did that affect what you listen to and what kind of music you want to make? Were you kind of influenced by the new releases and stuff, bands coming in?
Oh, personally, I've always been into solely just kind of like collecting 45s ever since I was in like 8th grade, and tracking down specifically like power pop and
Right.
new wave records.
Right.
And I ended up getting a job at Amoeba and working that position, the 45 department position. And from there, it just kind of spiraled into just, every single day I was learning about something new. And
Cool.
yeah.
I hate to brag, but I've got in my other room, I got 15,000 7-inches. So
Oof. Dang.
I see that wall behind
The
you.
LPs are
record
behind me,
wall.
Oh, wow.
Those
We're
are-
like
Boy,
nothing
howdy.
compared to that.
Yeah, look at
that's
my
all right.
dumb collection.
well,
You
you're
know,
all
the
young. You
silver
got plenty of time. You know what I'm saying? And then it becomes like an anchor around you. You can't move because you got 1,000 ton of records to move, and nobody wants to help.
Yeah, I moved twice last year.
Well, see, yeah, I've been here 10 years. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And what about you, Keith? What kind of music influences do you have in the last couple of years that got you to this band?
Well, I guess what led me to this band was me and Matt and Nick used to be in this other band called Toyota that was kind of like a weird punk band.
Right.
And I guess that's kind of more my background is like punk, more
Right.
punk stuff. But I don't know. They were talking about like starting this like jangly pop thing, and I was like, cool, I'll try to
Yep.
play drums in it. Sounds
All right.
cool.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now I noticed from listening to the record that the sound kind of goes back and forth between the songs that Matt sings and the ones that Morgan sings. And to me, and I'll say one of these music journalisty things that you probably hate, but you guys sound like kind of like the Bangles meet the Velvet Underground.
Cool.
Oh wow, I like that.
All right.
Haven't heard that yet.
That's
Stand
quite
back.
nice.
I like that.
Yeah, we haven't heard that one yet. That's amazing. I like that a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right. So is that a sound that you guys talked about? Do you discuss this thing when you're in the studio, or is it you just kind of going, this is what we sound like?
I think this record was kind of weird because I had just switched over from the drum machine, and our first EP, that's when I was playing the 12 string.
Right.
And then, so yeah, I switched over to drums, and a bunch of those songs we were just kind of like trying to figure out how to play them with like real drums and kind of like working that out. And some of those songs we didn't even have finished. We like finished them while we were recording them. So
Right.
yeah.
And between the guitar playing between Morgan and Matt, do you have to sit down and work out parts, or do you just kind of jangle away at each other? How does it work?
Yeah, we're not really we're becoming more comfortable as like a jangling around band, but we're pretty bland. We're pretty like it's very discussed, like just how to arrange things.
Right.
We definitely make a point to like really kind of plan it out and then go from there and let things kind of ebb and flow with this structure.
Right.
For sure. Especially like me coming from like really getting serious with guitar in 2018. You
Right.
know, we just, and like Matt's a very like seasoned guitar player. So finding that balance between us both has been a process. Yeah.
Are you guys all about the same age though? 'Cause I can't tell. I can't tell how old anybody is.
Yeah, more or less.
All right. Well, that helps. So let's talk about a couple of the tunes on the record, just so we can maybe play some snippets as well. The one that I thought the title all draws yourself right into it is this tune called "She Brings Herself Flowers." So
Buys herself flowers.
she buys herself flowers. I can never read my own writing. Yes. And so who the writing wise, who's responsible for that one? Is it a group thing, or is it Morgan or Matt, or how does it work?
She buys herself flowers, walks the house for hours, searching for herself. And when she is leaving, she's worried they're perceiving her as someone else.
A group song.
That one was, one of the very first group songs we did, as where it was pretty much fully collaborative, where
Cool.
Keith came up with a great riff and Morgan came up with the harmony, and Matt kind of came up with the structure. We also, I think actually that one during the recording session, we fully figured out the structure, because I don't know if we had necessarily a structure for
Gotcha.
that one.
We like that's our Frankenstein song, and it's
Yeah,
one of like the coolest ones on the record.
I know, yeah. It's
Pretty
but it
cool.
was originally titled Keith's song.
Forever.
Because,
forever.
yeah, forever.
Until
Because
probably like 5 months ago.
Yeah. Keith
I
was
see.
like, can we change the song name?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Fair enough.
something.
And I see you did a video for it as well. You guys, how much input do you have on the video making process?
That one is my good friend in LA, Zoe Zag. She filmed us when we were on tour in 2019 and was going to use the footage for something else, but just completely surprised us and
Right.
made Xerox frames of copies of every frame that she filmed, and like then scanned it all, made this weird animation. She didn't consult us at all. It looked great though.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I think I saw somebody else that did a similar thing with the video. It must be a new cutting edge technology that the kids are
Xerox.
working on these days.
Yeah, Xerox.
Underground.
Exactly. And there's 2 songs about seasons. There's an autumn and a summer. And on the next album, is it going to be spring and fall or spring and winter?
We're just gonna cover Vivaldi's 4 Seasons on that
Oh, good
record.
on you.
Yeah.
How can you go wrong?
Yeah.
So in general, though, the writing, is it mostly collaborative, or does one person bring something in and the rest of you, do you think one song is one person's, one another, or is it all just umbrellas?
I mean,
It goes through a filter.
Uh-huh.
So like if someone brings like at least like, you know, the instrumentals, someone
Yep.
will like write lyrics and a melody, or, you know, someone will add just their key. It's like, yeah, we all just add to things, like, you know, even if it's like, and then there's some songs that are just like written by one person, but that's pretty rare.
Right.
Everyone kind of helps out.
Okay.
Yeah, like Matt and I are literally working on a song right now that like I wrote like the chords to like the verses, but I just like can't write bridges, and Matt is really good at bridges and like
Okay.
kind of like fleshing out songs. And yeah, it can kind of vary between that and then like just like a full song with like, hey, write lyrics for this. You know?
yeah. No, there's been a few occasions where Matt has a song written pretty much guitar, bass, and like he'll have like a drum machine track for it with a kind of a vague idea of a drum pattern. And then usually he'll have like, oh, do you want to write lyrics for this, or do you have a melody idea? I feel like that's how our very first song was written, City Song. I think Matt, for the most part, came up with everything for that one. And then went to Morgan, hey, do you have lyric ideas for this? Or
And melody
know.
too.
Yeah, melody for that
Very
too,
nice
yeah.
melody for that song.
Cool. One other song I wanted to touch on was It's True, which is kind of slower and kind of dronier. And I think that might have been
Yeah.
where I got my Velvet Underground thingy from.
And it's true, and it's true, and it's true. And it's true, and it's true, and it's true. And it's true, and it's true, and it's true. And it's
Don't worry about that.
We got back from tour and everyone was kind of sad. We were going through some stuff.
Right?
I just like turned on the voice recorder on my phone and came up with this nice little verse and chorus, and I just showed it to everyone and people really liked it. And then Morgan wrote another verse, and then we wrote a bridge and didn't have lyrics to it, and then Morgan finished that. while we
That
were
bridge, I remember that bridge actually was some of the very first lyrics I'd ever written that I was just sitting on.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember presenting it to you guys, and then Morgan like fleshing it out too and things.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
It's good to hear a band that actually works together as a band. Because I've talked to some guys where one guy does everything, including recording all the things in the studio, and then the rest of the band just kind of goes out and plays with them on the road, which seems odd.
Yeah, just be a solo musician at that point.
Yeah, you'd think so. But anyway, there you go. So do you have more gigs coming up,
Yes. Keith?
Keith?
Hey, yeah, we got a show next weekend in Chico
Okay.
at a place called Duffy's, and then August 28th. Is it 28th or 30th?
30th. Or it's the 31st. It's the last day of
31st.
the month.
Yeah.
31st.
At Bottom of the Hill here in San Francisco, and then a couple shows in October, and then if all goes according to plan, we're going on tour later this year in November.
Right.
In
Cool.
December.
So is there a
in
good
December,
scene in
yeah.
San Francisco for, I mean, obviously San Francisco is known for music from way back when, Grateful Dead and Quicksilver Messenger and all that stuff, but your stuff is very different than that.
We like Blue Cheer.
Oh, great.
Well, I mean, I do. I'm speaking for myself.
You can't go wrong there. It's good and loud.
Yeah, there are lots of great bands and we all kind of have like our own like little side projects too.
Right.
And like we were saying, Glenn, Reds, Pinks and Purples,
Right.
April Magazine, telephone numbers, Cindy, Tori, the Snogs. There are like so
The
many great,
Snogs.
Hectorine.
That's the best Bay Area band.
great,
Very good,
great
very-
bands and cool venues, and there's still like cool DIY spaces, and it's just so refreshing and like vibrant.
Right.
I feel like everyone's so supportive, and
Nice.
yeah, there's definitely a sound right now. It's really fun.
Excellent.
We're really fortunate to be part of something like that, you know. You're not like the only band in town that, you
Right.
know, like,
Yeah. Cool. All righty. Well, thank you guys for taking time to talk to me. Hopefully you can come down to New Zealand and play at some point when everything does whatever it's going to do.
That would be so
Love to.
It'd be amazing.
That would
That'd be
be a
cool.
dream.
Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, we got a pretty good scene here too. You'd fit right in. Are you aware of like Flying Nun and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Undoubtedly.
absolutely.
I just went to
Giant influence.
I just went to the Flying Nun 40th anniversary concert last
Oh,
week.
cool.
The Bats, and the Straight Jacket Fits, and all those guys were there. So.
Wow.
Nick
Yeah,
and
bats.
I were in a cover band. For Amoeba has like a talent show of sorts, and with our boss, we did like a little short cover set of some of our favorite Flying Nun songs.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
That's very cool. All right. Well, I'll have to tell everybody about it. It's a very small community here and nobody ever leaves. So
Yeah,
don't
look
blame
blue,
you.
go purple.
yeah, exactly. All righty. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll let you guys get back to whatever you're doing. It was 9:30 at night, or is it there?
9:48.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's 4:48 in the afternoon here, and the sun's been streaming on my face. So, all right. Very good. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Thanks.
Yeah,
My
thanks,
pleasure.
Marty. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.